everybody, it's Kevin's European Garage here, and today we're going to be talking about my 1999 Porsche 996 911. So I've had it for 6 months now, and what do I think about it after 6 months? I still really enjoy the car. I still love driving it. I think it's a lot of fun. You know, there are definitely a few things that I want to improve on, and those are the things I'm working on right now. I would definitely say that the suspension is definitely in need of a refreshing. It's definitely softer than I would like, and so far what I've done is I changed the front sway bar links on this, and I've had to replace the rear toe arms in the back, because both the ball joints are bad and the front sway bar links, I mean, just the joints in there are bad, and that's a pretty common thing. And then right now this car is lowered with a set of iBox, and I'm not too thrilled with them. It looks like they're starting to sag a little bit in the rear, and all the powder coating on the springs is gone. So my next thing I want to do with the suspension is I want to replace it with a set of coilovers, and I have finally decided the ones I want to go with. I'm going to use a set of Feel coilovers. They're 441 Plus is the one I'm going to go with, the one that has the Swift springs. And after looking at multiple different ones to try to figure out what I want, I think those are going to be the best compromise between you know, cost and what you get for features. So they're going to be under $2,000, which is definitely cheaper than like an Olin set. And what's nice also is they're made here right in the States, and I do like that. And if there's any problems, it's, you know, it's a lot easier to get rebuilds, to get parts and everything, because it's right here. So that's going to be the next thing that I'm going to be doing on the suspension. I think I still might have like a little bit of a rattle in the front. It's hard to say. It only happens on really hard bumps, and last time I had the front end off the ground, I wasn't able to find anything loose. So it might be just inside the strut or not. I don't know at this point. So I'm going to try to diagnose that a little bit further and see if there's anything other than, you know, possibly just, you know, replacing the struts, which are the original ones on the car, and all the, you know, the mount is original and everything else up there is original. And also a few things I have coming up for this car too is that a lot of 996 owners, including myself, have problems with shifting, you know, between the first and second gear when it's cold. And now we're in the spring, we're talking about May, so I don't really have that problem anymore. But ever so slightly, when I first started up now and start moving, I do feel a little bit of tightness for a first minute or two, and then it goes away obviously as the thing warms up. So I'm going to try a few things to try to improve the shifting on this car. And so I picked up one of those insert mounts from PowerFlex. So I'm going to put that inside the mount for the training. My mount isn't in too bad a shape, it's not ripped, so I'm just going to replace it in there. And then I'm going to change the transmission fluid, and I'm going to use some Motul. After doing some research, everyone has got an opinion on which oil that they want to use, and I found that the Motul probably seems to have the least amount of people saying that it didn't work for them, as opposed to, you know, the Porsche one or someone using Mobile One. And currently in this car, I have Mobile One in here right now, and I'm not too thrilled with it. So I want to definitely change that. And another thing I got that's gonna be coming up in another video is I've got new motor mounts for this car, and I was struggling with motor mounts because I definitely do want to have stuff that's going to be tighter, help keep the chassis, you know, more planted at the back. But I didn't really want to have too much vibration. And for some people, you know, the amount of vibration, it doesn't matter. For me, I kind of wanted to be somewhat pretty similar to a factory ride. So what I'm going to do is I got some mounts. I guess they're from this company called Rein, R-E-I-N. So I went with those. And I've seen someone else do this on another video where someone filled in the mount with some urethane window sealant. And they say it's about a 60 on the hardness scale, which is basically about like a sport mount as far as how stiff it is. So I'm going to try that too. I'm going to try to inject it in there. There's actually a decent amount of space inside there, and I'm going to see if that will give me kind of like an in-between the factory and to like a setup like the Redline or the other couple, the RSS ones, or the couple other manufacturers out there of those semi-solid ones. So that's what I'm going to try next. So I got those 2 videos coming up, and then there'll be the coilover video. So I'll do the install on the coilovers, get the car aligned, corner balanced, and see how that feels using the set of Feels 441 Plus. So I will say, after the 6 months of ownership, I'm definitely happy that I got this car. I really enjoy it, and I can't wait to do all the little things I want to do to it, because I think it's going to make the car more enjoyable. I don't want to transform the way it drives, I just want to improve it. Some people want to really change how the car rides and stuff like that, and that's not what I'm trying to go for here. I'm trying to go for something that's a good balance between something that's really tight, something that's going to be fun to throw around and have a good time to drive, but without making it harsh. So if I wanted to take it for an hour or 2, it's still comfortable, because right now it's nice and comfortable, but I think it's just a little too soft with these with these Eibach and the factory struts that are 22 years old. So those things definitely need to go out. So I'm really looking forward to putting a set of Feels in there. I've been looking at a lot of different ones, and I'm really excited about getting those. As far as the engine goes, eventually I will be putting an exhaust on there, but I do want to get something that, like the Sport exhaust, where I can turn it off and turn it back on, but it's not always loud. And that's the problem, living, in a pretty quiet neighborhood. Everyone is going to know that I'm coming, and I would like to not necessarily have that. So I do definitely want to have something where I can have the adjustable valve, so I can turn it off, turn it back on again, so it makes it not nearly as bad. So if you got any questions for me, leave some comments, ask questions. I'll be more than happy to answer some things for you. I'm pretty sure that the suspension and everything else, is a couple of little things I want to do, is going to happen pretty soon. And I think the shifting thing, I don't know if this is necessarily going to fix it completely, and it's going to be really hard to tell, especially right now in the spring, where I don't really have that issue at all. So I'll probably revisit that in the winter. And because I did drive this, I managed to drive this a little bit during the winter. We had a pretty mild winter up here in Boston, so I was actually able to drive the car for a good portion of the winter, and I put about 1,000 miles on it in the winter, which is usually something I don't do with a car like this. Again, please subscribe. Check back often if you're not going to subscribe, but I want you to subscribe and get some more videos out. And yeah, thanks for watching.